When I first started photography, I never dared to call myself a photographer. I wasn't a photographer, I was just somebody with a hand-me-down camera who thought it was kind of cool to take pictures. Photographers were artists who lived in lofts in Manhattan or LA. They sold their work at fancy art galleries around the world, they had thousands of followers online, and their work appeared in museum exhibitions. Those were photographers. That wasn't me. Eventually, after a few years, I did start using that term in reference to myself. But when I spoke the words, "I'm a photographer," I felt hollow. I felt like I was lying. I was still just a wannabe floating around, trying to figure it out. Now, in my 5th year of this photography journey, I'm finally in a place where I feel confident about my status as a photographer and video maker most of the time. But why did it take me so long to get here, and why do I still feel like a fraud sometimes? As artists, we are all familiar with the idea of imposter syndrome. It's the sinking feeling that we don't belong, that our work isn't valid, that our experiences aren't worth telling. I've often thought about famous artists in this really superhuman kind of way. In music school, you learn about Handel, Haydn, Mozart, Verdi, Brahms, Puccini, all of these names on pages that couldn't have possibly been living, breathing human beings with flaws and desires and failures. But of course they were, and they experienced all of those things, granted in a much different world than we live in today. Think about an artist like Vincent van Gogh, one of the most recognizable names in any genre of art. He didn't find success during his life. He was thought to be a failure. He lived a struggle of an existence until his death at 37 years old, a decade before the 20th century, in which his work would see a meteoric rise to fame, rendering his paintings some of the most expensive pieces of art to have ever been sold. Obviously, we can't all be Van Goghs or Mozarts, but thinking about these superhuman artists in a really human way can help us realize that we are all sort of starting in the same place. We need to start somewhere, and we need to have somewhere to go. I think it's easy to feel like success is unattainable, or only for the few who are chosen by the universe to succeed. I think it can be liberating to give ourselves permission to be the artists we want to be. Looking back on it, I realized that I was a photographer the moment I picked up my first camera and enrolled in photography class at university. I was a photographer when I shot my first clients in the summer of 2017 and when I joined the staff of Opera Santa Barbara. That was the beginning of this journey that I am still on. When you start making photographs, you are a photographer. Don't shy away from it like I did early on. Embrace it and it will only help you on your journey. I'm experiencing a similar feeling right now with my YouTube channel, this thought that I'm not a YouTuber. YouTube is for those other people, the ones with hundreds of thousands of followers and one wheels. But remember what I said a moment ago. We're all sort of starting in the same place. You want to be a YouTuber? Start posting to YouTube, and you're a YouTuber. You want to be a filmmaker? Start making films, and you're a filmmaker. Want to be a photographer? Start making photos, and you're a photographer. Of course, at the beginning, these won't be the only words that define us. It might be YouTuber and accountant, or manager and filmmaker, or photographer and arts administrator. But by embracing the title, we give ourselves permission to be the artists we want to be and jump headfirst into the journey. And next time you doubt yourself, remember that it is part of the process. We've all been there, even Van Gogh and Verdi and probably all the rest. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.